Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today's video I will be painting up Kennith Sullivan from the Resident Evil the board game. It's a board game released and crowdfunded on Kickstarter by Steamforged Games. And yeah, so we're doing Kennith Sullivan. This was requested by a guy by the name of Ian Swafford. He supported or donated to the channel and requested that Kenneth be painted up. He also, in the previous video, requested Wesker be painted as well. So thank you again, Ian, for the support. It's very much appreciated. If anyone else would like to donate or support the channel, please follow the link in my description, the PayPal link, and if you put in there if you want anything, any character or monster from this game painted up, I will attempt to get that painted as soon as possible. I will be getting to all these models eventually, but if there is one that you would like to see in particular, yeah, please donate and I will attempt to get that painted up as soon as I can. So without further ado, let's get started on Kennith Sullivan. So the first thing I did was scrub him with a toothbrush in warm soapy water as to get any release agent off, and then he was sprayed in Brainmatter Beige from the Army Painter spray line. So yeah, so the first step we will do is his skin. So we'll go in with Mournfang Brown. As always, give your paints a good shake before applying them, and we shall go straight in with this. So this is just to cover his arms and his face. So again, always thin down your paints with a dab of water. And yeah, this may need 2 coats, but we'll get started. As you can see, that might be too watered down. Yes, this will probably need 2 coats. But yeah, I'll get that done and we'll be back. Okay, so with his skin dry, we're going to go onto his trousers, and for this we're going to go in with Bastilicanum Grey. Remember to always give the contrast a good shake. It helps the flow. And right, okay, pop it open. This will probably need 2 coats. Since it's over quite a light colour, but that's okay. Contrast paints dry relatively quickly, so you don't have to wait long to slap on another coat. But I will get this finished. So you see how quickly it's getting done. I'll get this finished and we'll be back. Okay, so with the trousers, the second coat and the trousers done, we're going to go in with Orruk Flesh, and this is for his vest. So again, shake up your paints, and then we want to thin it down slightly. Dab of water. So again, this will probably need 2 coats just to get a nice coverage. We don't want any of that white showing through. Really, we want a nice strong base colour. That's so. So I'll get this on, and we'll be back. Okay, so that's drying. Whilst that's drying, I'm going to go on to his sleeves for his t-shirt underneath. In the original art for the original game, Kenneth has like a yellow t-shirt underneath, whereas I think in the Resident Evil remake they've done him more to look more like Chris, but I kind of like the yellow t-shirty parts of him, so I'm actually going to go in with Averland Sunset for his for those bits and see how it turns out. If I don't like it, I'll later correct it, go back, but I think it will look quite good. So this is literally just for his t-shirt underneath his vest, like so. Obviously both sides. We'll get that done and we'll be back. Okay, so that's the t-shirt, his arms done. Next we're going to go in with Black Legion, and this is going to be for his gun holster, any straps on his trousers, his belt, his boots, his gloves, and the pommel of his knife, also his camera on his shoulder, and his little bit of facial hair. So quite a lot of black bits here. And I'll start off with his boots. We just slap it on like that. When you get to the belts and stuff, just try to be careful. So we don't want too much spilling over to the grey, let's say. Like that. So yeah, I'll get that done. I'll be back. Okay, so it's starting to look good. Next we're going to go in with Kantor Blue, and this is just to fill in his badge. Oops. Like so. Like that. Okay, so next we're going to go in with Leadbelcher, and this is for his knife and any buckles on his belts and stuff that need to be this colour. Right. So this is just for the knife. Like that, and then these metal bits on the back of their gloves. Like so. And also silver parts on the camera. That bit there. Like the lens. And his watch as well. The circular part of the watch. Like so. And then any buckles, so like this buckle here on his leg. And then on his back here, these bits. Like so. And then maybe this bit on the back of here as well. Yeah, I think that's more or less it. Okay, so I think we're onto the shading now. So with the shades, we're going to use 3, I believe. So we're going to use Nuln Oil, and this is going to be for the black and grey areas, and the silver as well. Reikland Flesh shade, which is going to be for his skin and the yellow areas. Oh, Nuln Oil is also going to be used on his badge. And then Biel-Tan Green for his vest. So we'll get started with Biel-Tan Green. As always, give it a good shake and choose a relatively decent brush, and then we just need to get started. So I'll start with this. Try to be as careful as possible not to get this into any other places. Keep it on the green, like so. This might need another coat, but we'll see, and we'll be back. So next we're going to go in with Reikland Flesh shade, and this is for his skin and his yellow areas on his sleeves. Again, try to keep this from bleeding over as much as possible, so you want as much control on this as possible. But that's so. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. Okay, and so that's those 2 washes done. And finally, we're going to go in with Nuln Oil. Always make sure you give these a good shake, because if you fail to shake them properly, it doesn't mix all the pigments inside, and it can cause your the finished product to be shiny, which I've noticed a few times. If you're, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world if you're varnishing your models, but just something to keep in mind. So yeah, I'll get that finished and we'll be back. Okay, so that's how he's looking once he's all dry. Quite like the look of him so far, but we are going to go a few steps further, just some highlighting. So we're going to go in first, start highlighting the yellow. So we're going to use Averland Sunset to go back over where the wash was. So we want to cover again probably about 90% of the surface area, just to bring back that original yellow colour. Use a thin brush for this. You want to make sure you don't go into the deepest recesses. We want to keep some of that reddish shade, reddy orangey shade in that, like so. I'll get that finished and we're back. Okay, so that's done on him. Next we're going to mix in a tiny bit of Ushbti Bone into that yellow on our palette, and what this will do, this will give us our next highlight. Ushbti Bone, we'll keep it as a yellowy colour, but it will just give a nice highlight to that. So just keep adding until you're happy. Then this is just for the highest points where the light will hit. Like so. I'll get this finished and we will be back. So next we're going to go back in with Mournfang Brown for his skin, just to start highlighting back up. And again, we just want to go over possibly about 90%, because the Reikland Flesh shade is a very sort of subtle shade. It doesn't darken it down too much, so we want to keep some darkness in the recesses, and just do the bits that are more likely to be hit by the sun or the light source, at the top of his head, top of his nose, his cheeks, top of his ears, and so then all his individual fingers as well are likely to be hit by. Just get a bit of definition on them. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. And next we're going to go in with Skrag Brown, and this is for the highest point. So again, bridge of his nose, some of his creases on his forehead. You do little lines, it looks more professional maybe, I don't know. And then his ear. Again, you want a thin brush for this. His other ear. And you want just the sharp bits on his muscles, like so. At the top of the arm. So yeah. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. So next up we're going to come back in with Orruk Flesh, and this is just to highlight his vest. Because next we're gonna go a bit more on the braces and the buckles and stuff on his, because they're also green. But it's a more, well, it's a lighter green, much lighter green. So we'll give that a go in a sec. Yeah, we'll get this done. And we'll be back. Again, focusing more on the flatter surfaces here and the highest points. Let's say. Get that finished, we'll be back. Next up, we're going to go in with Nurgling Green, and this is actually for all the buckles and the pouch on his vest. We'll see how this comes out. So I want to get a bit of difference between the green of the vest and the green of the buckles and pouches. Let's see how this turns out. So. I'll get this finished and we'll be back. Alright, next up we're going to go in with Eshin Grey, and this is just to start highlighting his trousers. So again, get some on your brush, and we want to thin it down with a tiny bit of water, wet palette. Paint is best friend, it really is. I got this off Amazon. It's a army painter one, and it's great. It comes with, well, it did when I got it. It came with 2 of the sponges, because they can get discoloured, but it also came with 100 bits of paper, and it wasn't that expensive. I think it was only about 15 quid, maybe less. But I highly advise getting one, because it does stop your paints drying out super quick, which is really, really handy. Get this finished, and we'll be back. So that's the Eshin Grey done on his trousers. Next we're going to mix in Administratum Grey with the Eshin Grey. That's already on our wet palette, and this is just to get a little bit more of a highlight on there. Like that sort of, you can see that sort of colour. So not too bright, but just enough to let us tell with where the highlights are going. So this is going on like the highest points, the creases, highest point of the creases, and along the seams, like here, and any pockets, like these pockets on his trousers as well. Like so. Okay, so that's done. And for the final highlight on the trousers, we're going to go in with straight Administratum Grey. This isn't mixed in with anything, it's just straight from the pot. Watered down maybe with a bit of water, but unfortunately my pot is almost running out, so let's see how it goes. Again, this is sparingly, this is like the absolute highest points, and you want a very fine brush for this. Maybe the edges on these pockets, like so, and the seams, and the highest points in the creases. Don't go too mad, because otherwise it will probably look a bit odd, but yeah, just enough to make you happy with it. So I'll probably leave it there. That's it. Okay, so next step, we're going to go in with Dark Reaper, and this is for all the blacks. So his boots and his gloves and his beard and his camera holster. Oh, and his gun holster as well. This black doesn't include the his weapon, because I always highlight them with silver. Just gives it that more metallic look. So just the curve of the boot, like so. Maybe some of his laces. Then around the back there. And then on his gloves, so just the knuckles and the pommel on his knife as well, and the flat surfaces at the top of his glove. Like so. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. Okay, so I don't know how you can see that, but it's the highlights on there. Next we're going to go in with, we're going to mix in, we're going to mix in Ulthuan Grey in with the Dark Reaper, and this is going to be our mid highlight, so probably like a 50-50 mix. Just mix it in there with the previous one, like so. We want a hint of blue in the in there, and then that's just going to be very sparingly with a thin brush again, like the rounded areas, like so. Maybe the top of the vases. Like that. If you go back over it after it dries, it will just strengthen the colour. Like that. And then again, the top of the glove, the pommel, his camera. I'll get that finished and we'll be back. And then, so that's done. And then we want to go in with pure Ulthuan Grey. This is more of a spot highlight. So again, we don't want to go too mad with this highlight because it will change the overall effect it has, and it just make it look too bright. So we're just literally tiniest spot right there. And then sort of in the corner. Yeah, like I said, you definitely need a good small brush for this. And just tiniest bit of highlight on the top there. And on the corners. And the knuckles as well. Like so. Bit on the watch. And a tiny bit on his camera. Like that. Maybe a bit on his belt that's going around here. But again, you don't want to go too mad. Like that. Okay, so next step we're going to go in with Leadbelcher. And this is just to bring back the colour of the knife. Like so, just, and then these bits on the back of the hands. And what I'm also going to use it for is any clips on the back that was covered in the green. Just ever so carefully bring them out again, and then maybe these ones will just go over. Like so. Like that. And again, with what I do with the guns, oh yeah, this clip here. What I do with the guns, I just sort of highlight them with silver, and it shows that they're metal, black metal. So this gun that is in the holster, ever so slightly, give it a little highlight like that. Don't go too mad. But yeah. There we go, happy with that. Okay, so we're very nearly there now with Kenneth. A couple more things we're going to do is we're going to take Morrow White and we're going to draw an outline of the badge. And unless you've got super steady hands and really good eyesight, you don't have to write in the word stars. So what I do is I just go around the edge of it, give it sort of a white border. So Any mistakes you do, you can fill back in with the original blue. But you want to just round the edge like that. You see? So I'll probably go back in with the blue just to brighten it up again, because it was darkened down quite a bit by the wash. And sort of like I put some dots in there to make it look like there's letters there. And then I'll go back round like that. I'm also, whilst I've got the white open, I'm also going to go and do his eyes, but I won't do that on camera because I need to focus on that. So we'll be back once that's done. So that's his eyes. They actually turned out quite well. Next I'm going to just go in with, as I said, with Kantor Blue, and this is just to tidy up the badge a little bit before putting on the stars. So, ever so gently, so you don't need a lot on your brush here, but ever so gently just fill it in again so the border is quite narrow, the white border. So we can go in again with white just to bring out the stars writing, but as you can see, like that, something like that. Right, almost very nearly there. So next is just Averland Sunset, and this is 3 little dots on the stars logo. Again, you want a thin brush for this. And go 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. Like so. Get another dot in there just to strengthen it. You want a very steady hand here. Like so. There you go. Oh yeah, final thing we need to do is the black dots in his eyes. So I'll do that and then we'll be back. And there you have it. Kennith Sullivan. I painted his base like the rest of them. I've been doing all the heroes. Just painted it with Ulthuan Grey. But yeah, there he is. Finished in all his glory. And there you have it. Bravo's team's point man, who was also a chemist specialist for the team, is now finished. There he is alongside his other stars members. Unfortunately, out of these ones, he's the one that perishes. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and subscribe. Also, if you would like to support the channel, please donate to the my PayPal. That's linked in the description. If you do chuck down a request for one of the models, it can be any of the monsters or any of the other characters or the alternate sculpts. I've got everything for this board game, like the Gold Tyrant as well. So yeah, let me know if you want to see one painted. Chuck it in with a donation and I'll ensure that I try to get to it within 7 days. So from request to upload, around about 7 days, depending on how busy I am. But yeah, I want to say thanks again to Ian Swafford, who donated to the channel and requested Kenneth. So yeah, this video is for you, mate. And thanks again. And yeah, thanks again for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next video.